Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Knicks Film School film session. Ben Ritholtz here. We're going to be breaking down a tremendous victory over the Denver Nuggets. The Knicks defeated the Nuggets 122-112. We're going to be focusing on a specific element of that game. There's a lot to talk about, and in my various platforms, I will be talking about all of those different things to talk about. But on this one, we're going to be talking about how the Knicks exposed Nikola Jokic, specifically in pick and roll. And of course, it was a strange game for Jokic. He got in foul trouble early in part because of that pick and roll. Never really got into the flow of the game, played the whole second half. But I think the Knicks did a lot of really smart things. In particular, we're going to talk about Jalen Brunson, the way he disguised, the way he was going to use screens, the way he forced Jokic into actions. And then also on the side, what the Knicks are doing on the weak side of the floor to manipulate the potential help defense the Nuggets could have provided. So that's what we're going to be talking about, exposing the MVP. Let's get right to the tape. All right, so look, one of the biggest plays of the game happened within its first 2 minutes, right? We have 10:46 in the first quarter, just a minute and a half into the game. This is where Jokic had already picked up a foul on a kind of a purposeful foul on Karl-Anthony Towns, who was about to drive right by him. And the Knicks do the smart thing. Immediately after that foul, they go right back at Jokic. And they're going to do it via the Brunson-Cat pick and roll, of course, the staple of the Knicks offense. You got Russell Westbrook on Brunson, and we have Jokic on Cat. And now let's watch how the Nuggets kind of position themselves here. So Cat comes to the screen, and right there, that motion from Jokic is an important one. Because normally speaking, Nikola Jokic is a guy who has learned over his career that his best utilization in the pick and roll is to play up to touch. He likes to stay up high on the screen and rely on guys like Porter and Gordon, who you see behind him, to provide the help behind him while he navigates the top of the key, uses his hands to get steals, deflections, uses his legs to get kick balls, as we famously know. He's disruptive up there. He understands he's not a rim protector. He's not particularly mobile. And so this is how the Nuggets won a championship, was with him up to touch on the screen. So it's interesting to see here as Brunson uses this that he's going to get into his drop position. That is as low as you'll see Nikola Jokic drop. And I think what he wants to do here, based on his arm placement, he's pointing as if he wants Russ to switch to Cat. I think that's what he's looking to do. Not totally clear to me, right? You see his arm there. He's pointing. That usually means he wants Russ to kind of peel off and guard Cat, and he'll handle Brunson. That seems unlikely. I'm not really totally sure what the plan is here, but he's in a drop. And Westbrook falls behind Brunson, who always does a good job of pinning, right? You see that position right there that Brunson gets himself into, right? That is pinning your man so that he's behind. And what that creates now is Jokic is really guarding both Brunson and Cat. He has to contest Brunson's potential pass to the rim or floater, and Cat's open on the roll. And because of the positioning of Jokic here, because he's so deep, this is a very simple pocket pass, right, to Cat. And he hits him right there. And Jokic is out of position. And again, once Jokic gets this deep, he's a totally ineffective defender. The only chance he has is to swipe down on the ball. But when a guy's coming from the side like that, that's not going to be possible. He's not right in front of Jokic. This is where you want Nikola Jokic. Really smart, simple pass by Brunson. This is not anything fancy. This was a straight pick and roll with very basic spacing. Jokic just dropped really far back. If Russ was supposed to switch to Cat, he didn't do it. And Brunson just sees this gap and hits Cat with that simple bounce pass. And Jokic picks up a second foul and one. So now he's out of the game for a long time, right? So there's not going to be much about exposing him. When he checks back in, and we have now like 6:12 in the second quarter, we're going to see the Knicks align very differently here. This is going to be a stagger screen for Brunson on the right side of the floor, or to get left to right. And Jokic is guarding Achua, and Gordon is guarding Anunoby. But look at the positioning again of Jokic. Now, this is what you'd call ice coverage. So Peyton Watson, who's guarding Brunson, is trying to force Brunson to stay on this side of the floor. The idea of icing is to not let Brunson use the screen. You're going to force him into the help into Jokic. Now, the issue with this coverage, again, and you questioning Denver's decision-making here is, well, this is the guy who has 2 fouls and we're early in the second quarter. Like, is that really what you want Jokic doing here? Is you want to guide Brunson into Jokic? It's an interesting decision, especially because Aaron Gordon here is a very mobile defender. If you force Brunson into the screen, you can probably have Gordon just switch to Brunson. But they're icing it. They want to keep Brunson out of the middle of the floor. They want to force him to stay on the left side. Now, Brunson could simply just take that path, but Jalen Brunson's craftier than that. So what he's going to do is he's going to fake, and you're going to watch this, he's going to fake towards with the in and out dribble. Now, that in and out dribble was devastating all night. He used it many, many times. It's probably one of the best in and out dribbles in the league. But that little fake towards the screen got Peyton Watson to take one more step. And with that one more step, Brunson can reject the screen, which he does as much as anybody in the NBA, which means not to use the screen. And now not only is he going at Jokic, but he's going at Jokic with his man who's going to be several steps behind. And now once again, Brunson's got his man pinned. And Jokic, this is like, again, just questioning the coverage of Denver here. This is the position you want to avoid at all costs. He's basically one-on-one against Jokic in foul trouble. Brunson smartly utilized that pathway, goes right at Joker, tries to get a foul call, and that could have been a foul. You see Jokic kind of use his arms right there, the right arm on the hip of Brunson. Could have been called a foul. Could have been his third. Doesn't get the call, but makes a shot. So Denver's giving Brunson pathways to Jokic, and Brunson's happy to take them. Now, we're a couple minutes later, and here comes Precious Achiuwa with Cat out of the game now with foul trouble. So Precious is in the game with the 5. Jokic is guarding Precious. Now, again, Denver is in ice. So Jamal Murray, who's now on Brunson, is again forcing him away from the screen. Now, again, you can question the wisdom of that, but he's forcing Brunson away. And Jokic is, again, pretty far down. Now, as we run this, again, Brunson could simply take this angle and attack Jokic, but he's craftier than that. And it's never simple with Brunson. So watch this. Fakes away with a little behind the back dribble, and now Precious repositions the screen to his right. So now he could be moving right. As Murray threatens to go under that screen, well, now Brunson's getting right back to what he wanted. But watch what happens to Murray's body positioning here as Brunson crosses back. See, right there, what Brunson just did is, had he just gone at the start, Murray was inside of Precious Achiuwa, and Brunson would have been driving with Murray on his hip. But because he ran that little counter move and now came back to this side, now look where Murray is. He's behind Precious. And so you took him out of position, which gives you, look at that gap, right? You create Brunson's little trickery there creates this gap between Murray and Brunson. And again, you've put yourself in a position where Brunson's attacking Jokic one-on-one, which is exactly where you do not want to be if you're Denver. Brunson's just going to go right through Jokic here. Murray's did a poor job here getting back. Either you got to get back and contest Brunson, or you have to get in Achiuwa's roll lane. He does neither. And the last thing I want you to watch on this possession, because we talked about it a little bit at the top, is what the Knicks do on the weak side. So general pick and roll coverage is what Michael Porter Jr. is doing at the beginning of this play. This is the tag man. This is the low man. His job is to help, especially because he's guarding Josh Hart, right? The closest thing to a non-shooter other than Precious on the floor. So his job is to clog this lane and either help on the Brunson drive, or more likely when Precious rolls, it's his responsibility to step up and guard the roll. What I want you to watch, though, is this is the Knicks' weak side manipulation. It's important to not just stand as a spacer, because when you move, you occupy the helper. And Mikal Bridges is going to do something, nothing complex. He's just going to kind of walk himself down. But watch Michael Porter Jr. as he does that. Now Michael Porter Jr. is like, wait, I have to worry about either Mikal could do a couple things here. He could try to face cut. We know the Knicks love to cut to the middle during drives. He could pin down for Hart to come up or pin in. So Michael Porter Jr.'s attention is diverted by this simple movement by Mikal Bridges, so that when Brunson drives and Precious rolls, look who's no longer in their help position. Porter Jr. is outside the paint, As Brunson gets past Jokic's hip, he's going to hit Precious on the roll, and you're going to get yourself a dunk. So the combination of manipulation by Brunson and then the slight, simple, weak side movement of Mikal Bridges distracting the tag man opens up a wide open dunk. That's how you expose Jokic, and that's how, by eliminating the backside help, you really expose Jokic, because he needs that help. All right, let's fast forward to the second half. So again, Brunson and Cat pick and roll. And this is super cool, because the beautiful thing about Brunson in this game is he was, as the Nuggets tried to react to him, he was a step ahead. So what have we seen so far? We've seen Brunson hit Cat in the pocket on the first play that got Jokic in foul trouble. We've seen Brunson drive through Jokic and hit the roller. But Jokic has to respect both. And now Jokic, a little bit higher up now, right? The reaction to the first half is, I can't drop into here. I got to stay up to touch. So he's higher, not as high as he sometimes is, but he's higher. And Brunson just with an absolutely filthy. Watch this closely. This is a fake pocket pass. He is faking at Jokic. And watch Jokic's left arm as this happens. As Brunson moves that left arm, Jokic, and this is how Jokic prevents pick and roll offense. This is the best he can do, is he gets his hands in. He causes a lot of turnovers this way. He'll get his hands on a pocket pass. So he moves that left arm down and kind of lunges towards the pocket pass. The problem is that Brunson doesn't throw it. It's an in and out. Watch it slowly again. Whew. You see Jokic's balance as he makes that move? Not good. And it's over. If Jokic is unbalanced, it's over. Now it's a blow-by. You got Aaron Gordon guarding a very hot corner shooter in OG Anunoby, so he can't really help off. Look at that. He totally just blew by him. And Jokic, this is why Jokic is a limited defender. He has a very specific utility, which is to be up to touch, which is to be disruptive in the passing lanes and then rebound the ball. But if you get him in the paint and you put him in one-on-one situations against a guy like Jalen Brunson, he has no chance. That's an open layup. All right, let's get to the next play. We're still in the third quarter here. This is during Brunson's kind of scoring binge. And here you got, again, Cat coming to screen. Another in-and-out dribble by Brunson to use it. Now, what I want you to watch here, though, again, we're talking about the kind of the off-ball movement, is OG Anunoby. OG sees that Brunson's going to use this Cat screen going to his left, which means he's going to be crowding the spacing. So OG's going to loop all the way through to the corner. And watch what that does to the defense. So here comes Brunson. He's going to use the screen. Now you see how high up Jokic is now, right? So Jokic has tried to adjust here as Brunson's kind of gone off in this game. He's way up and trying to get the ball out of Brunson's hands. So Westbrook does a better job getting through. And you see Jokic is really committed to Brunson on this drive. Now, Christian Braun is the low man. He's gonna try to deny this pocket pass to Cat. So he's now being engaged into the action as well. And here's OG, right? So I talked about he's going to clear to the corner. Now, this was my favorite pass of Brunson's night, and it's not even an assist. It's a hockey assist, as it were. But you see, as Braun crashes down, and now look at all this attention that Brunson's drawing, right? You got 5 eyes on him. Deuce didn't really lift here as much as maybe he should have, but watch the pass that Brunson throws to McBride. He throws McBride open, and Christian Braun now has the responsibility of covering both, basically, Deuce and OG. But as OG kind of faded to this corner, nobody's there, right? So if you go back, right, OG's man is Gordon. Now, Gordon, as Brunson drives, he thinks he's got to be in help. So you see, he stays in the paint. There's Aaron Gordon. But OG keeps moving. And Brunson throwing this pass to McBride, knowing that there were so many people in the paint trying to help on his pick and roll with Cat rolling. Now you created a 2-on-1 on the weak side. That off-ball movement by OG opens himself up in the corner, and he's feeling it right now. Bang. That's manipulation. You had the pocket pass. You already completed that a couple times. You drove the ball to the rim a couple times. Now the defense is reacting by helping more on the pick and roll. It's no longer 2-on-2. It's 3 or 4-on-2. Your off-ball movement creates enough distraction where there's overhelp, and now you're swinging it across court. Brunson doesn't make a ton of cross-court passes, right? That's not his strength. But to see him do it there and understand what the defense was doing and react, that's pretty cool stuff. That's next level read. Controlling the game, manipulating the game. All right, this one, again, talk about manipulation. So this is a set the Knicks run with 2 at the foul line like this. And usually they're trying to open up actually Bridges to kind of come off of catch, and then probably transition into a pick and roll with Bridges. But I think nothing comes of this because Brown kind of fights through. Plus, I think Brunson really wants to get to his cat pick and roll because it's working, right? So you're going to see Brunson watch his arm here. He's going to tell Mikal, get out. He clears him. This is him telling Mikal, get out. And you're going to see Mikal, similar to OG on the other possession, kind of loop and back to the corner. That's important as we'll see this play develop. So out goes Mikal. He's going to space. Now it's a Cat Brunson pick and roll. It's an illegal screen by Cat that goes uncalled with his leg spread, whatever. And now Porter's kind of out of the play. Jokic, again, is higher up because he's trying to get the ball out of Brunson's hand. But again, because of the screen, there's so much space here, and Brunson knows that he can attack Jokic downhill. You know who else sees that? Christian Braun. Christian Braun had followed Bridges off to this corner. But because he sees this situation, he knows I got to be strong and help. And he's got 2 feet in the paint right now. So what does Brunson do? He drives right at him, and Braun is stuck. And Gordon is on OG, and Bridges is going to keep spacing out, and Braun is dead. And you know who's a devastating corner shooter, maybe the best in the league? Mikal Bridges. Talk about manipulation. He's the one that sent Bridges out. Braun reacts to the pick and roll. Brunson sees it, drives right at Braun, and then it's a strong side corner pass. Simple basketball, but really smart basketball. You're exposing Jokic's limitations the way that the rest of the defensive players on the Nuggets have to react to Jokic. And now you're finding open threes. All right, now we got Braun on Brunson. And Cat does something really smart here. So now, because Jokic is basically now all out doubling, so we kind of seen a progression throughout the game. He was here in the first half. Third quarter, he got to like here, and then Brunson torched him. So in the fourth quarter, now we're out here, and now it's basically saying you're not going to beat us. You're going to have to get rid of it. Now the beauty of this game was that Jalen Brunson in the third quarter did all the scoring, and in the fourth quarter did all the passing. But I want you to watch how he does this, because Cat recognizes Jokic isn't worried. This isn't a screen coverage as much as it's a double team, because there was no screen. But Jokic is just staying all the way up on Brunson. Brunson feels that, and this is just such a lovely play, because if I have any criticism of Brunson throughout the year, it's that at times he dribbles too much, especially when he has Cat open, and he doesn't deliver the ball quickly enough. And here he picks it up right away. He senses there's 2 on the ball, and it's fundamental pivot, spin, deliver. And look at the pickle it creates for the defense, because Jokic was basically doubling. He's going to have to track back. Michael Porter Jr. might have to help, but now look who's in the corner. It's Mikal Bridges, who's devastating from the corners. He can't leave him, so he can't sell out. He has to try to buy Jokic time, but Jokic isn't mobile enough to do this. So what's going to happen is, as Cat catches, Porter does not want to leave that corner. It's too simple a pass. It's one dribble and a dunk. It's so simple, but the timing of this delivery is so key, and how early Brunson picked it up. The second he senses the double, right? This is what Tibbs talks about. Don't fight the game. Let the game tell you what to do. You feel 2 on the ball, you get rid of it to your outlet. And it's a good job by Cat staying high so that he can catch and go. Now, he could have popped all over the 3-point line, but you know what? He's not shooting it great right now, and he knows that I've got a 2-on-1 now with Bridges, that Porter's in a terrible spot, and if he doesn't commit to me, I can just go right at Jokic, and he cannot do anything with it at the rim. Right? That's just smart basketball, man. It's exposing the weak point in the defense. Brunson had such a hold of the game last night. It was really cool to watch. All right. Here again, there's not really a screen here, right? Porter gets all the way through, but Jokic stays with Brunson. Again, the coverage being get it out of Brunson's hand. So Jokic stays all the way up. But now this time, as Brunson strings this out, you're going to see Russell Westbrook. The beauty of Karl-Anthony Towns is that even right now, because he hasn't made his shots, but I think defenses are still going to respect him for a while more until he shows that this is like a permanent issue that he can't shoot, right? So Westbrook is going to cheat towards Cat on the pop. His man is Josh Hart. So I think Brunson sees here that he probably could get it to Cat, but I think he knows that Westbrook will recover. And he's got Porter on his hip. But you know who else sees that Westbrook is looking at Cat? Josh Hart does. Because this is a staple in the Knicks offense, and if you watch them enough, you'll know. If the wing defender, the opposite wing defender, is looking at the ball or looking to move out towards a popper, it's an automatic 45 cut. You cut behind that attention and open it either up yourself for a cut. More likely what often happens is with your cut, Jamal Murray has to replace Westbrook and pick up Hart. And if Mikal kind of lifts a little bit, he's open for three, right? That's a staple of the Knicks offense, the 45 cut from the weak side. So as Brunson goes and you see Westbrook not paying attention, he's right. Brunson actually looks at Cat here, which is why Westbrook reacts and actually takes a step. And Josh Hart keeps moving and Mikal's in the corner, right? And so Brunson actually lifts to shoot because he's got Porter on his back. But I think he actually feels Porter. Look, Porter is an improved and very long defender. I think he actually has a hand on ball here. So look, Brunson, I think, actually wanted to shoot this, maybe try to draw the foul from behind on Porter. But to his credit, he doesn't force it. Once he feels that contest, you see Josh Hart, hands up. He wants the ball. He feels his cut's open. And you know what? Brunson finds him. And you look at Jamal Murray there. Murray is worried about the corner pass. Watch his reaction as Brunson looks to pass instead of shoot. He takes a step towards Bridges, actually almost falls, because I don't think he noticed that Hart was cutting either. And Hart just splits right through that hole. Look at that. Westbrook on Cat, Murray worried about Bridges, Brunson delivers the ball. And what do you know? It's another layup. So you saw all the different variations of the way they exposed Nikola Jokic in that game. And the fact that it started with a pocket pass to Karl-Anthony Towns, a simple one, in a drop coverage that got Jokic's second foul. And then the way the Nuggets defense had to react to that to protect Jokic. And whether it was Brunson exposing Jokic on a straight line drive past him or hitting the roller once he was through him, or once the Nuggets brought their weak side help in to help defend against that pick and roll, now you're hitting the weak side for threes, whether it's Mikal Bridges floating through to the corner, or it's a skip pass to McBride, who then throws it to OG in the corner, right? And the way the Knicks were able to use the weak side movement to distract the help. So even if the Nuggets were sending that help, that extra help, they were distracted or not able to necessarily do their jobs. This is all designed to expose a guy like Jokic. And it's really a big reason why that matchup has been such a problem for the Nuggets since the Brunson era, is because Brunson can manipulate those situations so well, and Jokic doesn't have any good choices. He tried drop. He tried to get up to the level. Then he tried an all-out double team, and it didn't make a difference. The Knicks were able to score pretty much when they wanted to, especially late in the third quarter, fourth quarter. So that's the story. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you will like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want more of my thoughts on this game, it'll be coming in a grade book on the Brunson tier of our Patreon. Please subscribe. I think you will enjoy the content that DJ and I are putting out there on a daily basis in terms of mailbags and X's and O's breakdowns and film sessions like this one, extra material and after every game we do a grade book. So a lot of great content that we're putting out there on the Patreon. So please join us on that journey. Until then, thanks for hanging out with me for a bit. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.